I love dumplings at the best of time, but nothing beats dumplings that are homemade. And I'm going to show you my Chinese-inspired prawn and pork dumplings that have been steamed. Now I'm going to make my filling in the double force food processor, which has 6 functions, but for these dumplings I'm going to be using the chopping function and the mincing function for the prawns. Now let's place some garlic and ginger into the bowl, and I've attached the chopping blade. I want a subtle onion flavour, so I'll use 3 spring onions. And I love the addition of some Chinese cabbage, stalks and all, and that can go in. The lid goes on and I'll finally chop it. Now just to make sure that's evenly chopped, just use a spatula to scrape down the edges, and then we'll blitz it one more time. Okay, that is perfectly chopped. It's the right size for the dumplings. Have a look at that. And now we can start mincing our prawns. Now you need 250 grams of prawns, raw prawns that have been peeled and deveined. I'm going to put them in whole. So we want about 8 to 9 prawns. And then I'll set it to the mincing function, and then we'll blitz again. Fantastic. Now a rough paste has formed, and it smells so good with that ginger and the garlic in it. Now we can add the remaining ingredients, which is a little bit of pork mince. I like to use pork mince because it's a little bit fatty, so it's going to keep this mixture really moist. And then for some seasoning, a little bit of sesame oil. For some sweetness, caster sugar. And I like to use 2 varieties of soy sauce. The hint of ketchup mayonnaise, which has a thick, rich flavour. It's a little bit sticky. And then some light soy sauce. Now I don't want to overwork this, so I'll pulse this 5 or 6 times. And that's it. Our filling for the dumplings is complete. Now I'm going to use some square wonton wrappers. And I like to start with 6 so they don't dry out. So 6 on the bench. And then have a damp cloth on standby and cover the rest as you work. Also, we need to prepare the glue that's going to bind the wontons together. A little bit of cornflour in a bowl, along with some water. And just with a spoon, I'll mix this up so we can form a thin paste. Now using another spoon, we'll take a little bit of our mixture, about a teaspoon, and pop it in the centre of the square wonton. Make sure you don't overfill them because they will burst. And then with a pastry brush, brush around the wonton. And then I like to cover it so it forms a triangle. You want to squeeze out any excess air and press down on it to glue it together. And that's my first dumpling done. Now I'm going to make a few more of these and then steam them in a steamer basket for about 6 to 8 minutes. Now the dumplings are almost ready, so I'm going to prepare a really quick dipping sauce. 1.5 tablespoons of caster sugar with a little bit of chilli for some spice. I've taken the seeds out. Some soy sauce, and then this is my favourite Chinese ingredient, some black vinegar, which you can find at all Asian grocers. If you can't find black vinegar, you can add just a little splash of balsamic vinegar. Now I'll just taste it to make sure that that's balanced. Oh, that is delicious. And I'll place that in a presentation bowl. And now for our dumplings, very careful with steam. Always open the steamer away from you so you don't get burnt. And then we'll take our little dumplings. How great do they look? See how they shrivel up a little bit? That's a good indication that they're cooked. If you like, you can leave them in the steamer basket and present it at the table just as is. So there you have it. It's really easy to make your own dumplings at home. And they're made even easier using the double force food processor. I've used pork and prawn for my dumplings, but you can use many different ingredients to make your own dumplings at home.